Hi, and welcome to Mystic Muses Play D&D.
A storytelling podcast where an all-queer table of all femme players
and our amazing non-binary DM
tell stories set in the homebrew world of Perdition.
So now,
our story continues.
So here in this chamber with the spinning astrolabe with the small sun inside and apparently Charlie the spider wolf.
Do we actually get to keep him?
He seems
8 hours.
He's under your control for another 7 hours, 54 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But a square squat chamber rises in the center of this room and the elevator doors ding open.
Can it fit all of us plus Doggo and...
You look inside and sure enough it's about the same dimensions as the lift you were in the last time you were in Torrance's tower.
Werner just goes through.
Wait, Moritas is going to hold a hand out for...
It's already in motion.
Werner, I need to trust that you are in the right headspace to approach this. Are you doing this to just get yourself killed?
What do you suggest we do then?
I don't mind us going in, but I need you with your head on your shoulders. You are running rampant with your emotions. I can feel it from here. I just need to know that the moment you come into contact with this individual, you won't do something that gets you killed. You have things you want to achieve, yes?
Werner nods.
Elder would roll insight.
11.
Reasonably sure that while Werner's in blinding pain and just like seething bitter rage, they've got some of it together.
We'll see.
Need to see it before I believe it. All right.
How are you looking, Sven?
What do you mean?
For hit points.
Hit points.
Oh, 19.
Do you think you need any more?
I think you need more.
I have 9.
You need all.
You need all of it.
You need all.
For the sake of expediency, I'll say that you guys are talking about this in the lift and it is slowly starting to rise.
Werner might first level cure wounds on self.
Lord Elderwood is going to cast Mage Armor on himself, just in case.
I have 14 hit points.
Hell yeah.
now.
Yay.
Yay.
The elevator slowly stops, and sure enough, the same again since the last time you were here, the opaque solid walls melt down into clearness as it seems as though the entire elevator chamber itself sort of peels away magically.
Oh, Wolf Boy is with us, right?
Doggo is with you.
Yes.
Wolf Boy is with you.
Okay.
Someone peels away and you see now the panoramic vista of deep night air, and the whole chamber is bathed in green moonlight. Bubbling beakers to the left side emanate an alchemical experiment with heavy bookshelves full of tomes of varying sizes and shapes on a bookshelf to the right. Sitting on the desk, one leg over another, sort of leaning with hand to temple, face of judgment, the deep blue skin and like dark, almost violet eyes of Torrance sort of looked over all of you. Evening. It's at this point I suppose it's polite that I ask, who are you people?
Moritas kind of gestures to Sven first.
I'm Sven. I'm here for the adventure. These guys do actually have something. This is Lord Elderwood.
He will bow.
He can only speak through the mind. So maybe you might feel it in your brain. I don't know.
And he will hear in his head,
Hence, my silence when you were talking. Apologies, I wasn't being disrespectful.
Thank you for your honesty. I can't say I've ever spoken with a telepath like that before. The connection that you sort of create with Torrance, it kind of feels like it's sort of like the crisp tart sweetness of a very familiar taste that you've not had in a long time. Sort of like inky, fruity, oaty notes of red wine from back home.
Everyone else gets such nice flavors.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Lord Elderwood, and what do they call you, Rainbows?
Their name is Werner. We're trying to calm them down, so if you could just avoid, riling them up, would be nice, mate.
Well, the riling has gone in both directions, but I will keep the peace to the best of my ability. So, Lord Elderwood and Werner have questions for me, is that correct?
We were just wondering what your end goal is. You say you have important work that you're doing. What is it?
I've made an effort to turn this tower into something that can avoid the oncoming apocalypse. I've been going about the world trying to capture the Mistal's natural forms of magic baked into the world. I'm nearly finished. And then once the absorption's finished, I'll just find some nice real estate, maybe in the Shadowfell, somewhere that I can avoid this world turning into a wizened husk of what it once was.
What do you mean apocalypse?
I have it on good authority that the end of days is coming. An oracle far from where you all dwell, but very close to my own home, has given us a prophecy that the end of days is coming. When the mountains wash the city cleans and the waters drown the sun above, this world will come to its end. His prophecies are never wrong. So, as a student of the arcane, I'm doing my best to preserve the magic so that some semblance of civilization can be maintained when it's all gone.
You're attacking people, though.
Preparing them, toughening them up so that they can actually survive it on the other side.
Why attack Verosia?
Why does a mountaineer climb a mountain?
I mean, that is for fun, isn't it?
Exactly, because it's there. It's a lovely city, but it's not special. Roll flat intelligence, Sven.
Oh my god.
Something about what he said sounds super familiar, but like the actual words of it just fell out of your head.
Oh,
and it's...
did you not?
No.
Oh, Sven, buddy. Werner is trying so hard to keep their shit together when he says it's not special.
I come from a nation built out of coral and kelp. They're doomed too. So are the Sky Kingdoms. No one's going to live through this. I might as well cut my losses.
Do you plan to survive?
That's what I'm doing. This flying fortress is a bunker, and once the soul ring's charged up enough, it can jump between worlds.
Are you sure it's a bunker? Because we've managed to.
You see my anger with you people now.
Sorry.
It wasn't our intention to break your fail-safe plan, but I feel like perhaps you'd have a better shot at surviving if perhaps you collaborated with people.
Got a scholarship to study in magic in 𝑙𝑜𝑎𝑑𝑖𝑎. I was accredited by sages of all kinds, but I come to them with these prophecies from someone very accreditable, and they laugh in my face and dismiss me from my studies. People aren't worth the trouble.
Some people aren't, but most are.
What do you expect? To live through the world being unmade as it eats itself? I don't know the details of how this is going to end, but raw magics are going to consume whatever it can, as best as I can tell. Fluctuations I've been measuring. All those bubbles. Pointing over to his alchemical equipment, he's been testing certain ingots of stone and earth.
So if it eats itself, how is this fortress going to survive?
Oh, I won't be here when it goes up. I'm not that stupid.
You said you were going to the Shadowfell?
Lovely place. Rife with necromantic energy, ripe for study.
Won't that be affected too?
Nope. It's far from the reaches of it. It's too magically charged to take on to effect of somewhere more neutral compared to the elemental planes. You wouldn't understand.
For whatever reason, Sven takes offense at that.
They're based on very well-founded calculations. And I trust this oracle.
And why this place and no other place?
It's the most interesting. It's easiest to get to. Feywild's a bit more dangerous.
Has Lord Elderwood heard of the Shadowfell and the Feywild and all of these, like...
They ring bells, roll religion.
Would Vernon know about the Grey Lady's connection to the Shadowfell?
Very intensely. So I will answer that after...
13.
Yeah, so you know the Feywild and the Shadowfell, and you relay this back to them, that they are mirrors of the world where one is immense light and chaos and one's intense darkness, but rigidity and structure.
Sven is going to take Marvin, look at him, and start speaking. Say, do you know any of this?
That was going to be interesting. So with the Shadowfell, you know that the last rookery is said to be her keep where she oversees the affairs of all living creatures.
Would I know any more about that? Like, is it possible to get there?
It's heavily theorized, and you know Highfather Corvus has done it in his time. It's very tricky, but it can be done.
Okay.
So you want to gain the means to jump realms and leave?
Don't gain the means, I just need to wait maybe one more week. By harvesting all of this magical energy, this home of mine can easily do it.
And yet you're not going to use it to I don't know, fight this threat, you're just going to run away like a coward.
It's better to pick battles you can actually win. Immense respect if you feel like trying. I have no interest.
Who is this prophet you spoke to, this seer?
His name is Herdstrom. He is the last of the storm giants. Sven, you immediately know that storm giants are a kind of giant that you've thought have been extinct because they are ones that commune with the nature itself. And you've heard the name Herdstrom before, but he's always just been almost like a fairy tale.
Those exist?
Not anymore. A lot of them were hunted during the era of magical cleanliness.
That's what I thought. Okay.
But Herdstrom doesn't live too far from my city, back on the seafloor.
So if we were perhaps to go and speak to this storm giant?
He will tell you the same story he told me, but have fun having a little swim 4,000 fathoms down.
Well, I don't particularly feel like dying to an apocalypse.
Can I see if there's anything about what he said that just doesn't seem right?
Roll insight.
Good to me. Insight's one of my good ones.
You're expecting failure now.
I'm constantly expecting failure. 18 plus 5, 23.
See? Get it.
You're used to his jibes and his arrogance before, and there's still a lot of confidence in his assuredness that the world is ending, but he does believe it. He really does believe it. And he's confident in his plans and has little to no interest in wavering from the plan he set himself.
How long have you known about this?
Been in the range of about 3 months. I sat on it for about a week, just sort of processing it. And I went back as term started back home in Scriptura to try and see if some of the professors would be interested in it, but no avail. Instead, they saw fit to cut funding to some of my experiments. It's fine. They won't miss this tower.
And you don't know what it is that's coming?
His visions always lack detail, but the intent of the visions are always correct. I'm just doing the pragmatic thing, seeing the writing on the wall, as it were, and cutting my losses.
Do you have no one you care about?
It's hard to care about anyone when family died chasing ideals of saving people. It's hard to care about anyone when no one cared about me. So, strangers who saw fit to break into my home twice, I see two options.
You did kind of attack my home.
Details. I see two options. I politely let you be on whatever back road you desire, because the top speed on my tower is immense.
We know.
We've noticed.
You go about your business doing whatever fool's errand it is to save this world if you think you're capable, and you let me carry on my business. And if it makes you feel better, I won't endanger any more civilian populations. Or you see how well you can survive the drop next time.
Lord Elderwood, would you mind speaking with
Marvin.
Torrance sort of watched the fish, but has not been interested in it because he's just been looking at a fish and sort of eyebrow up, but still keeping the conversation up with you guys. He hasn't really regarded the fish in any special way.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin, is this connected to the thing you told Sven?
Unfortunately, yes. The absorptions are what made parts of my underwater kingdom and elemental water boil. Great Earth erupted from the seafloor and started absorbing my people. Something's marching, and clearly, like I thought, it's coming for you guys too. I hate agreeing with this asshole, but he knows what he's talking about.
Sven?
Yes.
You know how Marvin was telling you about, the visions and how you were part of destiny and fate and that you needed to save people up in the mountains? This is connected.
You expect me to do what now?
He sort of swishes in the water going up to it, just sort of like as though he was fighting against the current.
I think he believes that you can fix this.
Tall friend Sven, was it? Why are you talking to your fish? What is this?
Oh, he's my best friend, and his name's Marvin. Is actually an elemental, but I call him Marvin the Salmon.
I've seen my fair share of elemental beings in my past, but they always look like they're made of the roiling energy. That's a fish. Are you...
We're sure.
Sure.
We have confirmed that this is not a fish.
It's definitely not a fish.
So not only have you broken into my home, you've broken into my home out of just delusions and insanity. I'm going to insist on your leaving, but I'm still going to let you down nicely because...
No, but like my fish is saying this is connected.
Does the name Rex Petrus mean anything to you?
Can't say that it does, friend, unfortunately, no.
I feel like the fact that I can even commune with this fish telepathically should be sign that it's not entirely a fish.
Roll persuasion.
Maybe you can connect them.
Let's roll the persuasion first.
That's a good number.
19.
Ooh.
All right, I'm going to don the cap of insanity for just a brief little flow here.
Before he finishes talking, Elderwood is gonna connect his mind with Marvin's.
Oh boy.
Without telling him.
Oh boy.
Just to kind of really assert the point that we're not
Are
fucking
you asserting
around.
dominance?
Yes.
So as you say that, the aurora sort of flash in front of his eyes, and for the sake of argument, what's your spell save?
It is a 14.
Doesn't matter. He rolled a natural one. The Skype call immediately goes through.
Elderwood's eyes roll back into his head, and he's just doing the thing again.
Eyes roll back. Auroras swirl around Elderwood's hands, and they swirl around the rim of the jar and across Torrance's eyes.
Oh, you're in it now, boy.
Howdy, friend. It's been a while since I saw one of your kind here. Sorry, who's speaking? For the moment, call me Marvin Salmon. I know I ain't a salmon, this is formality. Anyway. A proud, self-important asshole, someone I think you can relate to, named Rex Petrus, the Emerald Emperor, has marched across my home on the elemental plane of water, killed millions of my people, and has taken over. And now he's coming here. That was the vision your storm giant saw. Thank you for providing details, little fish. Your point? Your point is, you're the one who commands this kind of vast magical power. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. I cannot be any clearer than how clear water crystal I am being. I don't pick fights I lose. I am taking magic to be preserved and going away. Deal with it yourself. Don't talk to me like I'm slow. I may look like a fish, but I am older than all of y'all. Listen to me. It might be an elemental chaos, but it's still being led by one mortal asshole. And you know what happens if you take something sharp and serrated and stab an asshole. That's disgusting.
Moritas is having a delightful time. Yay! just sitting there in the middle like, yeah, this is fine.
So what? I throw in my lot with these three psychos in the hope that I can undo an immovable prophecy? There ain't no such thing as a fixed current. The water can flow in any ways. You know that, you self-important asshole. So what happens now then, little fish? What happens now is you actually use some of your magic for something. Why'd you bother learning it anyway? But can I? Can I really do that? Currents flow in many directions. Go over the water. Swim your own way. Grow the fuck up.
Oh my god.
The auroras naturally lift from the jar, lift from Torrance's eyes, and your vision returns to you, Moritas, having heard the entire conversation. Well, I certainly believe that the three of you are a bit less crazy than you were when you broke in the second time, let alone the first time. The fish is, persuasive.
Interesting. Yeah, that too.
He's great.
Okay. Here is what's going to happen. I will leave alone any further civilian populations, and I will continue my efforts to gather magical energies from across the world in a safe way that doesn't harm or undo anything. I assume that a lord, a priest of a faith, and you...
Priest of the Faith whose house you're going to, by the way.
Why?
It's her domain.
Shadowfell.
Shadowfell.
I wasn't exactly going to be in the same postcode, but that's neither here nor there. I can count on the three of you to be resourceful and to do your utmost to learn about what can be done about this oncoming doom. Is that correct?
I mean, we were already kind of on that path anyway.
But
Wondrous.
with your extensive research and intellect, I'm sure that we can find many uses. I'm sure that we can collaborate, and, you know, my wife is incredibly interested in the happenings going on, so...
Elderwood.
Yes.
Thought that name sounded familiar. Well, if you insist. And he gets up off of the desk and strolls past all of you to the sets of shelves beside the bookshelves. Pulls open a drawer. Nope. Pulls open another drawer. Yes. Pulls out fist-sized river rock. It's smooth and grey and rounded in lots of places. No tricks, no untowards. This is a tenuous allegiance, but I will do it anyway. Puts it in your hands. Handling is put. Gives you the rock. Place that into a large receptacle of water, and we can speak through it.
Also, apologies. If you have... I see that you were using the necromantic energies of the Great Marsh to do whatever you were doing. If I could perhaps take a look at some of your research, that would be great.
In the interest of trust, sure enough. He wanders over to the jars of alchemical supplies, and you see on the wall behind it, it spins around, and you see 8 long vials full of the thrumming pink energy. Each one of them has an abstract arcane symbol sort of on a plaque along the top of it. He goes over to the one with the symbol of a grinning skull, takes another vial from the desk, sort of siphons out the pinkness to it and puts a cork on it really quickly. Takes a thin leather-bound sort of journal or notebook, hands them both to you.
And what would you like from me in return?
You have 3 days to make a call through that speaking stone. If you do not have any information regarding this apocalypse, I will return for my research notes with terrible vengeance.
3 days is enough, right?
I mean, it's been a very intense 48 hours.
It has.
Oh, it only has been 48 hours since I crossed your paths. Look at this, we're all becoming such close friends.
Are we keeping this wolf spider?
Well, I bred it out of some of the strange transmutive energies from the canyons in Commodius, so it seems to have taken a shining to you. I think I'll probably create some genomes that are a bit less susceptible to enchantment.
Apologies.
Speak soon, new friends. The circle under you starts to lightly glow pink.
As we're kind of getting out of... Actually, I wanted to detect thoughts on him. So as you feel yourself slowly start to sink in the floor of the tower, you look into his mind and you see visions of the seafloor, columns of jet black smoke, a tower and castle made of immense coral and twisting kelp and sea vines, and a split in the ocean floor under you. What that prophecy means, we'll find out next time on the Mystic Muses.
Hi guys, and thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you like what you heard here today, be sure to give us a follow on Spotify and hit that notification bell if you'd like updates for when we release episodes every week. This episode wouldn't have been possible without our amazing cast. Maitreya, she, her, playing Sven, he, him. Asta, she, her, playing Moritas Elderwood, he, him. Ellie, they, them, playing Verna, they, them. And not to mention our wonderful DM and storyteller, Adam Ray, they, them. If you like what you hear, be sure to check us out also on Twitter and Instagram for updates. See you soon.